Okay, so Proudly Here is a project that a couple of community members sort of put together. We thought it would be a great idea to platform some of the amazing people that are doing incredible things that have been doing it for a long time or just started in terms of LGBTIQ+ inclusion in regional Victoria, and particularly for this project in Ballarat. So we chose participants based on who hasn't had the opportunity to speak about their projects in the past. And so we wanted to hear from different people and give them that platform and opportunity. And so we have some incredible, extraordinary people who have been doing incredible things from the past to now. And some people who moved out here in the 80s, some people who have lived and grown up here all their lives, people who work here in the health sort of sector. We have a nurse who is Indigenous and queer and trans, and they do incredible stuff in the hospital where they have a rainbow patch on one arm and the Indigenous flag on the other arm. And that brings so much visibility and representation to their intersectional identities. And so we have a couple who have lived here and have something like 14 grandchildren, telling their incredible stories, and have sort of gotten married in their house and before it was legal, and then got married after it was legal in the same house as well, and they're still there now, and we filmed in their house as well. And we've got someone who has done a couple of events out here to bring community together. So quite a mix of different people and different ages and different backgrounds. So I'm quite new to Ballarat. I've only been here just under 2 years now. And so it was incredible to be able to sit there and hear those stories from people who have grown up here or who have lived here for a long time. And, someone who grew up here in the 80s, during the AIDS epidemic, and, hearing his stories and hearing what it was like for him to be here as a gay man. A big aspect of this project is around social inclusion and community learning, because there's an element of, you're LGBTIQ+, and you're watching this project and these videos of these extraordinary people who have, lived in regional Victoria and who have thrived in regional Victoria, and you're watching that, and you might be someone who lives in regional Victoria and you're seeing yourself represented, on a screen, you're seeing your story sort of be told, or you're seeing people advocating for you. You're seeing things that you might not know out here because there's not a lot of community connection. You might also be somebody who is new to the LGBTIQ+, sort of space, and so you're learning what's happened here, the history that's happened in Ballarat, and you're hearing it from people who have witnessed it and who have, done that work and done those things out there. Well, I think compared to metro cities, there's obviously a different experience out in regional and rural Victoria. In terms of there's not a lot of services and people that can bring the community together, so there's not a lot of visibility for the community. The community itself does a wonderful job at making sure that they are sort of connecting and putting on events and things like that. But in terms of compared to metro cities, there's obviously a very big difference. I think one of the greatest things about this project is that we're able to give a platform to regional experiences on such a mainstream sort of metro Melbourne platform. Which is something that we don't often get. So that opportunity, when we saw that, Midsumma doing these regional activation grants, we jumped on that because it's such a great opportunity to showcase what's happening out here that doesn't always get that stage and that spotlight in Metro Melbourne. People have spoken so much about the difference that has happened, like significant change that has happened, in the last, sort of 40 years. There seems to be a lot of change in that time. Even just in the last sort of under 2 years that I've been here myself, there's been huge change. I've seen a lot of people sort of come together and really try and advocate for change and, show a united front and say, okay, well, we actually need this and this, and actually, speak out about that. And there has been really, really great, it's been received really well through council and through different organisations who have, put up flags for the first time in Ballarat. And have committed to advisory committees and all sorts of really great significant change. I think having a mayor with lived experience and a connection to the community here has made a huge difference and has helped us sort of get some things across the line. And in terms of I think the advocacy that people have done here, for a long time has helped us sort of get to where we are today. So at Speak, our main focuses are in regional and rural Victoria. And we want to support as many LGBTIQ+ people living in regional and rural Victoria, but our training and workshops extend out to Victoria-wide, so anybody can access our training and our consultancy and our workshops, but our main support areas that we then use that funding from, for example, the services that we provide, to then support directly people living in regional and rural Victoria.